Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. This is USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN Kerbeck, and our show today is the Mallorca Connection. Our topic is power up your brain. Let's talk about how to keep our brains healthy. And of course, the star of our show, Mr. Roland Friedl, he's going to help us understand what we need to do for brain health. Let's welcome him. You may recall that he is traveling in his motorhome, traveling all through Europe, meeting new people, having new experiences. It's always exciting to see him and hear what he's been up to. Welcome to the show, Roland.
Hello, Dr. JACALYN. Great to see you again.
Nice to see you, and nice job that you just did on the Earth Show. For anyone who missed it, the topic was wasting food and how can we prevent it and stop doing it. So please go over to our YouTube channel to learn more. Roland, where in the world are you today?
I am in Portugal, north of Lisbon. So yesterday I left, I crossed Lisbon. I didn't go in. I was already there because I try to avoid large cities. So I'm at the Atlantic coast. I'm standing here an hour away or half an hour away from Lisbon at the Atlantic coast in a beautiful place here with my motorhome.
That's fantastic. You know, until you said that, I forgot that I've actually been to Lisbon. That was part of my birthday trip when I turned 50. I had a really nice experience there. And Portugal is quite beautiful. Have you found that as well?
Absolutely. It's a beautiful country. Actually, they had a lot of rain, so it's very, very green. It's a little bit like Austria. Some of the landscape is a little bit like my home country. No, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, and what I really like, especially land in, you know, it's a lot of nature, not many buildings, not many villages. So most of the people live on the coastline. It's really beautiful. There's a lot of wildlife. There's so many different animals, foxes on my motorhome twice. But it's not a little bit scary because my cat, is strolling around the night. But anyway, yeah, it's beautiful. People are very friendly, very, very nice. I mean, they look very, I don't know, they don't have to smile like the Spanish or Italian people, but they're very, very friendly, very friendly.
That's great to hear. You know, I'm also smiling because I'm thinking I'm here in Florida and you're there in Portugal. And our earlier show today, we had somebody who was in Australia at 2:00 in the morning broadcasting. We had Janetta, who was in Africa. And it's just amazing that because of this technology, we can provide so much education from so many people in different parts of the world. So I just want to honor you and thank you for taking time out. I know that you've got to find Wi-Fi and you've got to make sure that everything's set up while you're traveling on the road. But you're a huge advocate of wireless life. And I know you even have a website, Wireless Life Rocks. So before we get into the topic, just tell us a little bit about how you're able to work from wherever it is you want to.
Well, first of all, I made some decisions many years ago. You know, I'm raised and born in a small little country in the middle of Europe, in Austria. And when I was 6 years, I guess 6 years old, I had the chance with my neighbors to go to Italy. It was the first time I saw the sea, and it was flashed. Never forget this. I was absolutely flashed when I was at the seaside in Italy. And I remember I came back home to my family, and I was, very excited. A small boy, very excited seeing the sea, this Italian dolce vita, stuff like that. And I said, wow, it's amazing. When I grow up, I will move to the seaside. You know, my dad, he was always pushing me down, and I said, maybe everybody everyone else, but not you. And this was really a trigger. I said, okay, one day we'll live. So to be honest, from that on, I was I would say designing or planning my life step by step so that I can move to the seaside. And really, when I went to school and university and stuff like that, of course I went to corporate world, but only a few years. Then I decided, no, when I work for the corporate world, it's difficult to move to a nice place because maybe they don't have a venue there or a company there. So I decided to grow up my own company. And when I decided what kind of business I want to do, I said I want to build up a business that I can bring to everywhere, wherever I'm going. So it doesn't matter. So when I leave this country, the business in this country is not falling apart. When I move somebody else, it can continue. So I really had this plan since many, many years. So I was building up my businesses over the years and then always traveling around the globe. And then I found this amazing island 15 years ago in Mallorca, which has been my home for the last 14 years, working from there, flying in, flying out, because Mallorca had an amazing airport infrastructure. And yes, and then, with this pandemic, it happened that my clients went online. We had a lot of online meeting, video conferences, people working remotely. So I said, okay, that's my chance. It always was my dream to move into my motorhome that I had already bought a few years ago. And traveling in my motorhome to see more of Europe, because I know many parts of the world, but really Europe, not much. So I decided moving in the motorhome. And yeah, the only thing, with all this technology, it's easy, it's all about finding a good spot where you have a fast speed network. That's all about it. And yeah, but I designed and planned if you want to say so, my professional life on long term to be free independently and work from the most beautiful places where some of them, even not many, but some of the people spend their vacations there.
Yeah, it's just such a joy to hear and see what you're able to create from anywhere you want to be. I mean, how liberating is that? And I think a big part of the work that we do requires a healthy brain, a sharp brain, a brain that can remember a lot of things and can also help guide us through new learning opportunities. But yet we don't always take care of or think about keeping our brain healthy. We make decisions that can affect our brain health in the long term, correct?
Absolutely, brain is so important. By the way, some of my friends say, Roland, you're absolutely crazy person. You're really weird what you're doing. And I made a post on social media and said, no, some people say I'm weird and crazy, but no, I am like they would like to be if they wouldn't have been so afraid to be. Most people are just scared to try something different. And they never get out of their treadmill,
It's so true. The people who are usually throwing the rocks are the ones who don't want to take the opportunity, and they stay and just judge. They just watch from a different distance and judge and hope that you'll fail. But we're here to empower people to power up their brain and to make decisions that are good for them in the short term and the long run. So tell us about what we're going to be sharing today with your presentation.
Yeah, when I found out, it's my personal story. Actually, my mom, I really love her very much. She has a very, very bad dementia since many, many years. So it's so strong that she even doesn't recognize me when I visit her. She has no idea who I am. I mean, she's always smiling, but she has no idea who I am, because I found it out that when I'm with her, she talks about different stuff and it has nothing to do with me. Or when she's on the phone, on the video phone with actually previously with my girlfriend, and my girlfriend says, "What are you doing?" And she said, "Yeah, I go for a walk with my brother." I said, "No, I'm not your brother, I'm your son." And after the phone call, she said, "Oh, your mom is really nice." I said, "No, this was not my mom, this was my girlfriend." But anyway, so she has no idea. My mom really is a very bad dementia. I said she lives in a bubble. She's physically absolutely healthy and fit totally. She has no issues. So always when I pick her up, we go for a long dog walk. She enjoys that. She's physically absolutely healthy, absolutely fit, but her brain. So she has no idea, no short memories. So she lives, when I listen to her, what she's talking about in the 50s or 60s. And so I was thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm getting older too, next year will be 60. I don't want to get the same stuff. My dad passed away 2 years ago, and he also had a dementia, but just in the starting. It was not that bad like with my mom. So I was thinking about, oh my gosh, and I see more and more people who are suffering from dementia, from Parkinson, from Alzheimer's. So it's really a huge issue for people who are getting older. That they're losing their mind and the memory, and so that scared me, to be honest. That scared me because I'm working with my brain. I do coaching, consulting, TV, writing books, I'm working with my brain. I don't, I'm not a farmer, unfortunately, or I don't know, plumber working with my hands. I need my brain. So it really scared me because my plan is to work as long. I never think about retirement. I want to work as long as possible because for me it's not working. I just love what I'm doing. So I need my brain. That scared me. So I started doing a lot of research, and I found out, okay, most of the stuff I already do without knowing that it's beneficial for my brain and the health of my brain. And I found new stuff out. So I implemented it in my daily life because I found out that you can do something. You don't have to suffer. You can do preventive something. You can do prevention. That's so important. That's a good message. Most people tell you, yeah, you're getting older. I remember I once had a problem with my knee. I had a pain in my knee. So, I'm not very with doctors. Sorry, guys, but I trained thousands of them in nutrition. And there are some goods out there, but mostly they just, they don't even look at you. Somebody, you go somewhere. I give it an example with this. A normal doctor, when you go there and say you have a pain in your knee, maybe he looks at your knee and then he writes a prescription and sends you to the pharmacy shop. Yeah, if it's a better one, he's asking, what are you doing? Yeah, what have you done? And if it's a very good one, he's really in a conversation with what you're eating, what it is, and so he finds out all the surroundings. But most doctors don't do it, and I know most doctors even don't have the time. But anyway, so and I was at the doctors too with a pain in my knee, and you know what he told me? He said, "Yeah, you're getting older," and I said, "That's interesting because my other knee is the same age, but there's no issue." It's not the age. Both knees are the same ages, so it must be something different. So, but anyway, so I learned that I can do a lot of myself, in staying healthy, staying fit, and I learned a lot about the brain too.
Roland, thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you for being so transparent. Just for folks who are out there, maybe they have a loved one in their family who has dementia. How long has your mom been on this journey? You said she doesn't recognize you now. Has it been going on for a long time?
Well, actually, yes. It started about 6 years ago. I've been living on Mallorca, my mom in Austria. So after the hot summer season, so in September, when it's not so hot anymore, she always came on vacation to my home. And every year she came for a month over Christmas and New Year's Eve. I always went to Vienna and flying back together with her. And it started slowly that she, I don't know, she comes out one of the guest rooms and she has middle of the night and she has no idea where she is. And she was scared. She started like, I don't know, we went to Palma, for example, for lunch, and then we came home at 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and I said, "Oh, we should cook lunch." And I said, "Mom, we already had lunch." And this was the worst time, because she recognized, "Oh shit, I forgot it," and she said, "Yeah, but I'm still hungry." So, and she had 1 year, a year and a half, where she lost her memory slowly, and she recognized it, and she really went, I wouldn't say kind of aggressive when I corrected her. Really, it was the worst time for her. And then it went slow, and then it get down, and then the doctor said, well, it's not good to travel, because when you have dementia, it's good to have a daily routine. It's not good to bring her to different places on and off, flying in, flying out. So she needs a daily routine. Yeah, and then she stayed at home, and sometimes, she went out for shopping and she couldn't find home again. This was one point. She went on a bus downtown and couldn't find home. And actually, that she doesn't recognize me anymore. It happened with this, sorry for this pandemic, for this political shit that went on, because I was not allowed to travel and to see her for 1.5 years, and my dad. And she called me, especially my dad, sometimes 20 to 40 times a day, crying on the phone, absolutely not understanding why I'm not coming. He said, "I'm not allowed to." And this is for the people, especially with Parkinson or Alzheimer's dementia, when you don't see, for example, your son or whatever for a long time, especially in this phase, you forget them. You forget them totally. And this happened when I had the first opportunity to fly out to see my mom, and I was allowed to go in and see her. She didn't. She was smiling, but she had no idea who I am, and so this is since 2 years now. Yeah, and even when my dad passed away, it was actually I didn't tell her. It didn't make any sense, and it's a sad story because my mom, she couldn't live anymore at home because she forgot to switch off the oven or the ironing, and we were really scared that she burns down the house. And my dad, he wanted not to live anymore this way, so he said I want to go in a residency. My mom had to go in residency, and my mom said yes, okay, we do that, but she doesn't want to share a room with my dad. So same floor but different rooms, but they always hang together. But she wanted to have her own space. And I guess my dad has already passed away for 2 or 3 months. I don't know exactly. And my mom said, you know what? This old man that always came to me to see me, I think he passed away. He's not coming anymore. So she had no idea that her husband passed away. She had absolutely still no idea. It's so sad. It's actually so sad.
It is. And I can't even imagine what it must have been like for you when you go to see her and she doesn't know who you are.
Yeah, but some people say, why you're seeing her? So, but you know what? I know her. She's my mom. I know her. It doesn't matter if she recognizes me, yes or no. I don't care. Even the communication is really hard because I have no idea what she's talking about. She has no focus. When I tell her something, she's forgotten. She's saying something different. She has no focus, no concentration. It's difficult, yes. But anyway, I guess it was difficult for her to bring me to Earth, to risk her life, to give birth to me. And we had a difficult time together when I was a small kid. So she's my mom. I don't care. I'm here for her as long as possible, and all good. All good. She's my mom.
Beautiful. Well, today you're going to be sharing some things with us so that we can protect our brain health as much as we possibly can. So would you like me to bring up the slides?
Yes, let's start.
Okay.
Well, when we start, I have to mention something to our audience. I'm not a medical doctor. Yeah, I'm a normal human being, but I do a lot of research for myself in different parts, different topics. But I just want to learn and learn by myself, and I don't want to depend on somebody else. And that's why I always do my own research, find out my own stuff, and try out my own stuff. And also for this presentation, okay, what I'm talking here, it's stuff that I learned, it's stuff that I do. It's just my daily practice. Okay, maybe you can use it, you want to try it out, but it's just what I'm doing.
Perfect.
And as I said in the beginning, the brain is so important. It's one thing, when you're getting older and you have pain and you cannot walk anymore or whatever. Yeah, but when you're physically fit and you could do so much stuff, I don't know, whatever you want to do, traveling, working, whatever you do, and your brain is not working anymore. This is really bad. And what I saw with my mom, it was really hard for her in the beginning when she started realizing, oh shit, I lose my memory. Now she's fine. She's living in I believe she's fine because I have no idea what's in her head, because she lives in a bubble right now. But she looks happy. I have no idea what's in the bubble. But but the phase in between, it was really hard for her when she realized I'm losing my memory. And I know some friends who have been in the same stage and that just went suicide. They pull it and they realized, oh, I don't want to end up like that. So, but this is really hard way. So I said, okay, people, we can do something. We can do something. Yeah, absolutely. We can do something.
Roland, just a quick question. So when the first time you went to see your mom and then subsequently, she doesn't know who you are, but she feels safe going for walks with you.
Yeah, she was smiling at me, and sometimes she thinks I'm her brother. And it was funny. Last year on her birthday, I went with 2 of my kids and my girlfriend. We picked her up. We went to a nice restaurant on a nice place. And she was, and we did, I don't know, we went to a kind of a small fun park. Actually, it's for kids, not something scary. So we went on this train, on this fun park, and she was not interested in anything. She always wanted, just smiling on me, admiring me, like, somebody's totally in love. The whole lunch, the whole time on the park, she was just fixing on me and looking at me like this all the time. And then she said, do you still love me? She said. And this was not like a mom asking her son. And then I found out, oh shit, she's living in the 50s. She thinks I'm her first boyfriend.
Wow. What did you say to that?
I said, of course I love you. I said, of course, you played a role. It doesn't make sense to correct her. And I found it out because she mentioned some stuff when her dad was still alive, and I know that my granddad, that he passed away 4 years before I was born. So I said, oh shit, she's in this, because he passed away in 1960, so she's in the 50s. Oh, and I thought, okay. And she told me once about her boyfriend, and stuff like that. So when she sees me, she's smiling because she feels good with me, but she has no idea that I'm her son. So sometimes I'm her brother, sometimes her father, sometimes a previous girlfriend, sometimes I'm also her boss. So she's really, and it was a funny thing before she went to this residency. The bank called me and said, Mr. Friedl, we have to do something. She's not able to sign anything anymore. It's not really. I said, what happened? Yeah, she came with all her papers and she was applying for a job. 76 or 77, she went with all the papers applying for a job. And even when sometimes when I call her, I said, Mom, how are you? I said, yeah, I don't have much time. I have to take care about the kids, And she's always talking about 3 kids, but she only had 2. It was me and my son, my brother, who passed away. It's not about me and my brother. She's always talking about 3 kids. So talking about her brothers and sisters. And so from all, when the listeners, I bring the puzzles together, I say, oh, okay, she's living in the 50s, she's living in the 60s. But yeah, she feels comfortable with me, but she has no idea that I'm her son.
Mm. Wow. Well, let's do whatever we can to keep our brains intact today, because we hear so much about people with dementia and people with Alzheimer's. And I know many of us are thinking, what can I do to prevent it?
Absolutely, something. And actually, I was thinking about when it started with my mom. My girlfriend tried to push her and said, okay, she should change this and this and this. But I wouldn't say it was too late. But at the time I was living almost 2,000 miles away from her on an island, I couldn't control her, meaning taking care that she really eats only this and this, that she really does this and that. What the points that I'm bringing up on the slides later, I had no control, and in the residency they don't care there, so it was no chance. And because one of the point is, maybe let me start with the presentation. The first point is diet, having a proper diet, and this means a sugar-free diet. Sugar is the worst stuff for your brain. There's a lot of scientific stuff out there. And my mom, the older she became, the more sugar in. I remember when she had a coffee, she loves coffee. I don't know, she had 5 or 6 spoons of sugar. It was a lot of. She had cakes and cakes and cakes. And always when I invited her for lunch or we go out for lunch, she was never interested in any food, just sweet, or her preferred food was ice cream. There was a lot of ice cream. She was sweet, sweet, sweet. It was interesting because my dad, he was a very healthy person, very slim, trained, never overweight. My dad, never ever, very good looking guy. And the last year before he passed away, he was full of sugar too. I never saw. My dad never went to a cafeteria or to a bakery for coffee and a cake. Never ever. I never saw. But all the time I met him, said, "Son, let's go for a coffee and a cake." And he was all on sugar too. And when he was becoming older, and I found out that all the people that are not living very healthy, they tend to eat more sugar. They love more sugar. They become addicted to sugar. So the first point is diet in generally. Diet meaning eat as healthy as possible. What does it mean, eating healthy? It means non-processed food. As natural as possible. Fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, fresh meat, non-processed food. Because whenever you buy in a can or frozen, whatever, there is so much sugar and many, many other ingredients in that you really don't want to have in your body. That's really damaging your brain. Yeah. So, and I told it in the show before, I went with my cat to the vet a month ago or something like that. And because she had some issues and they did some blood tests and said, okay, kidney's okay, but liver's not perfect. And is high in sugar levels. I was like, what? The cat has a sugar issue? How? Wow. Never get sweets. Better find out, this really expensive food I give her. I thought it's just meat. And then it was reading. Actually, I made a photo with my smartphone because it's so small written and made it larger. I was like, oh my gosh, it's sugar in. cat food. And then I realized that with all the elements, it's sugar, everywhere is sugar, because sugar is so sweet. And it makes people and animals addicted to it, and it's very cheap. So the first of all is really healthy diet, fresh. I try to avoid sweet. Sometimes enjoy an ice cream or a cake, but not on a daily basis. And avoid it, meaning no soft drinks, and really, when you buy processed food, really read the ingredients. Especially, it's not always sugar. Please Google and do a lot of research. Sugar has so many different names. The industry becomes more and more clever, and they're finding new names to put sugar in. Everywhere is sugar. I love red beans. I love beans, and these Americans, these baked beans. I love them when I do my burritos. And there's 40% or 50% is sugar of these baked beans. You buy a can of baked beans, and it's 50% is sugar, and it's ridiculous. So I never buy it again. Yeah, it's really incredible. So it's, first of all, it starts with, you can, because it's all about you making your choice. It's diet, healthy, fresh food, no processed food, avoid trans fats, and avoid sugar. We have too much sugar in our daily diet. Sorry,
something I just wanted to mention. One of our other team members, Red, he had a series on Talking Heads about toxins and about sugars. And the bottom line, I'm just paraphrasing what I understand he was saying, and he's a researcher, he's not a physician or someone in the pharmaceutical industry. But what he was saying was that the brands, he was talking about a certain brand of fried chicken, that there's so many addictive chemicals and toxins in there to make you want more. And that there's actually a site that publishes exactly what's in, let's say, fast food, for example. And it basically is training us to crave it.
Absolutely. I mean, especially with kids. I mean, I have 3 boys. I mean, they're all grown up now. Especially, it started with the kids. The industry, these big companies, they put a lot of sugar in this baby food that the baby get addicted to it. Actually, we never bought this stuff, and for example, all 3 boys at home, they never got any sweets, no sweet soft drinks. Only when we went to a restaurant, they could order whatever they want. But at home, never ever. We trained them from the beginning not to become addicted to sweets, to sugar. It's really, really bad. Really bad, really bad. And when I will be 60 next year. But I remember when I was a kid, my mom always told me I was never into sugar. I was never into the sweets. But when I was a kid, we had no supermarkets. We had grocery stores, and you had a penny. You went there, and then he gave you 1 sweet, and now you can buy a package like this. We didn't have this 50 years ago. Yeah. You didn't have this huge package on sweets and chocolate. You wanted, he opened the box. I don't remember. You gave a penny, and then you put something out, and you've been happy, and that's all. And now you have all this sweets, and all these soft drinks, and it's really, it starts with the diet. It starts with the diet, and to be honest, to be sugar free. I speak from my own experience. I love sugar too, because actually not sugar. I love chocolate and stuff like that. And carbs, but I stopped eating carbs, not 100%, but I really, really reduce it incredibly, and I feel much better. I have more energy. I'm less depressed. I'm less fatigued. I feel much better, because it's not just the pure sugar. It's also the carbs. Like when you eat white bread, at the end, the enzymes in your body split the carbs up, and then it's sugar at the end too. So when you eat white bread, pasta, I love pasta, to be honest, but I have it once a while, but not so often that I had to. At the end, it's all sugar. And I was reading a book, actually, it's written by a German medical professor. In German, it's called Dumm wie Brot. It means dump like bread. Dump like bread. Dump, yeah. Dump like bread, yeah. And it's really, people eat too much bread. They eat not only sweets like chocolate or candies or pastries, they eat too much bread and stuff like that too. Too much bread and toast and bagels and whatever. And at the end, it's sugar too. It's a sugar bomb too.
Turns into sugar, right? And so does alcohol.
Yeah, of course, absolutely too. Yeah. So the first thing, it's diet. It's about diet. I mean, really a lifestyle change. And to be honest, what is more important, to have a quick shot, I don't know, alcohol or sugar or whatever, or you think on the long term? To be honest, when I see it, when I go to this residence and see my mom, it's not fun to see these people, and you lose you lose your, how you say, to be a human being when you need anyone's help, because my mom doesn't know, did she eat or not? She doesn't even know, has she been to the bathroom or not? So, she needs help with everything because she just forgets it. She doesn't need help because she is physically, she's absolutely fit. She just forgets to go to the toilet. She just forgets to eat. That's the point, It's the brain. If she's physically totally healthy.
I also did some. Oh, I'm sorry. I also did some research that as the stage of dementia, I guess as the patient gets into the last stage of it, that they don't remember how to chew food. They don't remember how to swallow. So then they don't eat because they don't know how to actually chew it.
Absolutely. No, it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Absolutely. So diet is really, really critical, and it starts in the beginning with the kids. So start as soon as possible. Diet, healthy diet is so important. And to be honest, just before we go to the next step, is a healthy diet doesn't mean to have an ascetic life. Hey guys, I have a lot of fun. And I always say, for me, a healthy diet means 80% healthy, 20% fun. I have an ice cream, I have a chocolate, I have a beer. Actually, today I had a 1 kilo. It's a 2-pound tomahawk. No, it's a 2-pound tomahawk steak, and I had a small can of beer because I didn't have a beer for a week or something. So I enjoyed too. I would say 80% healthy, 20% fun is a good ratio. So you don't have to be an ascetic. Absolutely.
A question I have, I know you're going to talk about physical exercise. So when a person gives up carbs, for example, and let's say they're weight training, what is it they need to replace that with so they have the energy and the strength to pump up?
Well, no, I didn't say giving up carbs, giving up bad carbs. Good carbs are veggies, for example. You can eat vegetables, for example, or maybe you like, I love lentils, I love chickpeas. They're very healthy and good carbs, and also they have a lot of protein, by the way, too. Chickpeas have a lot of protein too. So it's not about carbs in general. It's about giving up the bad carbs, like, as I said, sugar, bread, pasta, cakes.
So would you say macaroni and cheese is out?
Sorry?
Macaroni and cheese, is that off the list?
Yeah. So they're good carbs, veggies are also good carbs. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, the next point is fasting. It's so, calorie reduction. In preparing for the show for USA Global TV, I found out that, I don't know, did you notice, Dr. JACALYN, the average American diet is 3,500 or 3,600 calories every day?
Wow, I didn't know that.
It's a hell, especially when you just sit in office. So calorie reduction is very healthy. There's a lot of research on that, on animals, on rats, and so on. Fasting is so important. Meeting calorie. I mean, if you reduce 3,500 calories, you reduce it by 20%. It is still enough. So, calorie reduction is very, very important in general. Every day, eat smaller portions. And then what I highly recommend is fasting. So for my personal experience, what I do is 16 to 8 intermittent fasting. So I don't eat for 16 hours, and I eat in a break of 8 hours. So I have 2 times a day I eat something. That's one point. It's called intermittent fasting. And what I also do is, and I highly recommend, is I do fasting on a regular basis twice a month. And I do this with a shamanic background aspect. I do this always it's working best on the 11th day after the full moon. Please, so tomorrow is my fasting day, because we had full moon on the 4th. So on the 11 days later, on the 16th, I do always fasting twice a month, 11 days after the full moon, and 11 days after we saw Neumond. Maybe it's new moon. Do you say new moon in English?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, yeah. So 11 days. So it's actually it's every 2 weeks, more or less. So when it's too complicated for you guys, what I did is I Googled when I have full moons and new moons, 11 days plus, and then it's in my calendar. It's in my calendar here, and it pops up tomorrow. Whole day fasting. So because I've also forget it, when it's the exact day. So I'd always do it on the 11th day after full moon and new moon, so twice a month or every 2 weeks. I do a full day fasting, meaning no coffee, no juices, no smoothies, no shakes, just water and a high intake of supplements. And I will talk later about omega acids. So I do this twice a month, regularly, just water, and 16 to 8 fasting, intermittent fasting. So 16 hours break and eating in between these 8 hours. So I eat normally. I have kind of breakfast between 10 and 12, so between 10 a.m. and 12. So I don't eat when I go up, I just drink a lot of water. And I have late lunch, early dinner. So like today around 4 o'clock, I had this barbecue, this large steak. So that's what I normally eat.
And you get up rather early as well, yes?
To be honest, in the past, yes, but it really, since I moved in the motorhome, I sleep more, and I was wondering why I sleep so much. And I found out, Dr. JACALYN, it's because I'm changing places. I always see new places, new people. I guess my body needs more recovering. I sleep more a little bit. So, and actually here in winter it's quite dark and cold, so I sleep a little bit longer. But normally I get up at 5. Actually, sometimes I got up much earlier. Normally at 5, but here I sleep a little bit longer. But I think it's because I'm traveling, always new places, new people. I sleep a little more, but normally at 5. Yes, getting up early. I love the mornings. Yes.
You know, you've really inspired me because I was doing that intermittent fasting as well. And I really felt great. I was getting up earlier, going to bed earlier, and I felt like I had a lot of energy. So I'm going to start it again starting tomorrow. So there, I'm saying it publicly. There it is.
Cool. Very good. No, fasting is so important. Really, we know it. We know it. There's so much scientific stuff out, so many research out that when you eat less, when you really calorie reduction, and calorie reduction means eating less in totally eating good stuff. Yeah, good stuff, healthy nutrition, but calorie reduction. I don't know where it was years ago. I found an interview with a guy from Japan, 100 and something years old, and they asked him what he was doing. He was not smoking, not much alcohol, and he said, "When I eat, but I never eat it until I'm full. I stop a little bit earlier." That's calorie reducing. Yeah, it's very important. Very, very beneficial.
You know, my friend, I just want to mention to you that we're almost out of time for this show because we have your men's show right after this. So maybe we want to stick to the food supplements for next week.
Yes. Yeah, we can continue next week in food supplements. So let's start with physical exercise. Is very, very important. Physical exercise is very important, meaning run, jog, walk, bicycle, swim, do something. It's not about full time. I'm a huge fan of also workout in the fitness studio. Yes, it's very good too. But if you don't have the time and you don't like it, physical exercise means walk. Or as I always say, the best for a man's health is a dog. For women too, of course. I have a dog. I always walk my dog. So yeah, physical exercise is very, very important on a daily basis. We know it also from science. Move your body. Physical exercise, very, very important.
Roland, just on that topic, one thing that I truly believe from the research that I've done, and I was a personal trainer for many years, a spin coach, yoga instructor, is as we age, we start to lean forward, and we don't have the same posture that we used to have. And we're not doing a lot with our upper body. If you're walking or running, that's terrific. But what about strength training? I really feel that even light weights are important for everyone. If your doctor says that, it's okay for you. What do you think?
Absolutely, because the older we get, we have less muscles, and we need muscles because we need, when you look at a lot of research, especially on cancer, people who are suffering from cancer, older people, most of the time they don't have enough muscle, not protein, so they don't have enough muscle. They have too much fat in the body. It's very, very important just to prevent disease, but also for your core, to feel back. So many people are suffering from back pain, and they go to massage and stuff like that. Yeah, it's nice, but please train your core muscles. Yeah, you don't need a six-pack, but train your core muscles. It's so important, and stretch or maybe do yoga. And you, to be honest, I'm not suffering from back pain. Sometimes I feel a little bit because I was, I'm traveling too much. I'm sitting too much on computer, and when I feel it, said, "Oh, Roland, when was your last yoga practice? I start immediately again, and it goes away. So when you're suffering from back pain, please stretch, do yoga, whatever is good. It's really so beneficial. So physical exercise and strength, muscle, very, very important, because we're losing muscle, and it's very important to do strength training too. Absolutely. It's not only that it looks good. It looks good, but it's also very important for your health benefits. Absolutely.
And as we age, at least from the women I've spoken to, and even some men, we start to get thicker around the waist. And I feel that we have to have some kind of combination of the diet, the fasting, the supplements, the exercise, etc., and then a variety of exercises, not just doing the same thing every day and expecting to get different results.
Yeah, especially when you're getting older, folks. What I highly recommend is when you watch tutorials videos, don't watch a 20-year-old girl or a boy. No, I'm 50. I become 59 this year, 60 next year. I watch guys who are end 50s, 60s, and they do tail training. Okay, it doesn't make sense to copy a training of the 20s. So when you're getting older, what I found out is that stretching, warming up, is becomes so important. I spend much more time right now in stretching and warming up than in the training itself. And really, I don't have any injuries, no pain at all. Because I love, sometimes I go to the gym when I was on this camping site, but I also have in my garage, I have kettlebells and stuff like that. I have my TRX with me, my rubber bands. But I start with a long stretching and warming up afterwards, and also before and afterwards. It's so beneficial when we're getting older, and then we do my training.
Yeah, for sure. It's super important. Well, my friend, we have to close out this show so you can go open the other show. So for people who are watching us, we will be back with another segment on food supplements.
Yes, we will continue next week, Wednesday, on the shamanic exercise, meditation, relationship, and the food supplement. Yes, let's do that.
Fantastic. All right, wonderful. So, Roland, tell our friends watching or listening, if you would please, about the next show, the show for men.
Yeah, the next show is starting in 20 minutes, the Wild at Heart show, as we say, real, authentic, uncut. Actually, it's a show for men, by men, about men's topics. I do a lot of men's work, and I found out that men need men to talk and share their inner world, without being competitive. I'm the best, I'm the coolest. No, about really talking about the real stuff inside, how we feel. And yeah, that's the men's show. We have started last year. I guess we run close to show number 40 already. And today's topic is a dangerous man is a good man. We will discuss this. A dangerous man who has his power under control, okay, is a good man. But I found out that a weak man is a weak man is a really dangerous man, meaning it's not good to find a weak man. So a dangerous man means a man who knows exactly about his strengths, his weak points. He knows itself is a good man. That's mean a powerful, dangerous man. Because people think it's dangerous. Actually, a friend of mine showed me a photograph of a guy in a tank top, fully tattooed. Hey, this guy looks absolutely cool. And he said, "Do you know who he is?" I said, "No, who he is? He's a very famous pharmacist." And then he showed me a photo when he is in his white things, and you don't see any tattoos. So I meaning a dangerous man is a man who knows his strengths, his weaknesses. He trains out, he works out. Yeah, as we said before, he's training, he's running, he's working out. He knows how to fence himself and his family. He knows how to provide shelter for his family. He knows how to make a fire. That's a dangerous man, and that's what I mean, a dangerous man, because it's not very common anymore in our society.
Wonderful. I'm super excited. I'll be backstage producing this show. How can people reach out to you, Roland? How can people sign up to be on the men's show or to be on this show? What's the best way?
Yeah, the best way is when you want to sign up for a show, go on usaglobaltv.com, and then you find book session, and then you find all these different shows. We have run more than 20 shows every week, so you can book your session, choose whatever topic you want to talk about. That's usaglobaltv.com. And if you want to contact me, the easiest way is, go to my my main website. It's my name, roland.friedl.com. I will spell you for those guys who are on a podcast or radio station. It's ROLAND. FRIEDL.com, rolandfriedl.com. That's my website, and my email address is office@roland.friedl.com. Yeah, whenever you want to discuss, I'm always very, very happy to share information with people. I always want to learn from you also what you are doing, where you are going, where you are coming from. Yeah, it's all about sharing and caring, and that's all about here in USA Global TV. It's networking and sharing and caring.
Thank you so much, Roland. I'll let you get over to the other studio, and I will be joining there shortly.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. And thank you to each and every one of you out there, whether you're watching or listening on the live or the replay. We certainly do appreciate you. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, please do subscribe to USA Global TV and Radio. A few announcements I want to share with you. So for those of you who are aware, in addition to being the founder and president of USA Global TV and Radio, I also have another business, which is Dr. JACALYN LLC, where I teach people how to listen at an elevated level. I provide courses, coaching, writing books, and also producing music. So I want to share with you, we have our latest book cover in the Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, the Listening Mentor. The book series will be a series of 7. This is the 4th book so far. And on the cover, you'll see animal characters, and each of these animals represents real people who have taken my course, The Power of Listening. It's a 2-hour online course. You can take it at your leisure. It's open to anyone and everyone. And so this new book, the title is The Ocean Calls and Lady Ella Listens. This is the 4th book in the Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, the Listening Mentor. In this book, Lady Ella has left London, where she was having afternoon tea with her friends, and she worked with her friends there in London to help them understand etiquette and manners, as well as how to be kind to one another. And she travels to the ocean because the ocean is calling. The ocean's basically crying because of all the pollution. And the ocean's a character in this book. And the ocean's saying, please, Lady Ella, can you come and help? My inhabitants are dying. They're getting stuck in these nets that are left by fishermen. And we need your help. So Lady Ella puts on her sunglasses and she travels and she meets her friends there. And you'll see the friends, the mermaid, the baby seal, the squid, the dolphin, and the whale. And fabulous, beautiful illustrations done by our illustrator. He's done all the work on the 4 books so far. And his name is Khalid Rahman. And I really want to thank him because his work is exceptional. So you can go and pre-order that book right now over on Amazon. You can put in my name, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. You can put in Mariska Duprier. And we also have a new author on this, which is Dr. Madeline Chan. So please go ahead and take a look over on Amazon. The next thing I want to share with you is we have some new courses. I've been asked, how is it that someone can get started in the podcasting platform business? So I put together a package with the recommendation of a mentor and friend. And this Podcaster Pro package is for you if you are interested in having your own podcast, being a co-host on a TV show, or being a show host. It includes 2 courses, The Power of Listening, because if you're going to be interviewing, you certainly need to know how to listen. Listening without judgment, listening without providing solutions, listening without interrupting, and listening without stealing the stage. So you can learn how to listen, and then you also learn the art of being a professional interviewer. In this course, we have 6 global broadcasters and journalists who have had decades of experience in interviewing and broadcasting around the world. And they give testimonials about what it is that they do and what it is they've done. And I, of course, have over 3,000, I think 400 and some interviews that I've conducted since 2019. So I share my wisdom as well. And then you get an hour and a half of coaching with me to tell you exactly what you need to do, exactly how to stand, how to speak, what you need to set up, what products you need to buy. So that course is available on our website, which is usaglobaltv.com. There's a lot more announcements, but we don't have any time right now. So I will be jumping over to the other studio to produce Wild at Heart, Bonfire Talks, Roland Friedl Show, along with his men from around the world. Thank you so much. We'll be back shortly.